joy is coming in the morning time. Oh, now that my eyes do see, Lord, I know you really, really love me.
And they cast lots, and the lot fell to Matthias. I want to preach for a little while this morning using as a subject, your name just came up. Your name just came up. Would you do me a favor, look at your neighbor and tell them somebody been talking about you. Your name just came up. And RJ, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible today. I know all the bishops said take my time. We ain't worried about the Patriots. Amen. And this is the beginning of football season. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Oh my God. Let me go ahead and preach. Your name just came up. Ladies and gentlemen, in turn of recent events, the NFL free agency story that never ends, as of yesterday evening, seems to have a new beginning. Most would consider the Antonio Brown saga a classic example of a spoiled, unsatisfied, and diva football player who just wants everything his way. While I consider this to be a learning experience. Drafted in the 6th round in 2010 out of Central Michigan, he quickly grew into one of the NFL's most dynamic pass catchers over the course of his 9 seasons in Pittsburgh. He topped 1,000 yards receiving in 7 of the past 9 seasons. He's been selected first team All-Pro 4 times and was chosen for the Pro Bowl 7 times. His tenure with his first NFL team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, ended abruptly and tumultuously after last year, when the soap opera came to its climax after 2 years of reported contention, conflict, and controversy between Antonio Brown, his head coach Mike Tomlin, and his quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. What was supposed to have been a grand time in the city of Pittsburgh quickly became the city's worst nightmare. He is then traded to the Oakland Raiders this past offseason and was awarded a contract that would pay him $50.13 million over the next 3 seasons. This same deal also included $30.13 million in guaranteed money. What should have been a fresh start rapidly became a bag of rotten fruit. Because in less than 2 months after Antonio Brown's highly publicized trade to the Oakland Raiders, disturbance began again. First, it was his displeasure with his new helmet and his appeal to never play football again if the league didn't allow him to continue playing with his old one. Then he shows up to team facilities with severely frostbitten feet after he entered a cryotherapy machine wearing improper footwear. The circus continued as Antonio Brown and his new general manager reportedly contentiously crossed paths and then was suspended for tomorrow night's season opener. And yesterday, my dear friends, NFL fans woke up to the news that the Raiders have severely grown tired of his shenanigans. Begin taking the proper measures to find the troubled wide receiver more than $200,000 and also void his other $30 million contract in guaranteed money. Antonio Brown, my dear friends, quickly took to Instagram and employed the Oakland Raiders to release him. The Oakland Raiders obliged his request. They released the star wide receiver of his duties. The story becomes interesting here this morning because in less than 24 hours in his release from the Oakland Raiders, his name begins to come up. His name begins to come up in news reports about the possible signing of Brown to the New England Patriots. The rumors proved to be true. And just after 5 p.m. yesterday, the deal happened. After the crazed man that Antonio Brown has proven to be, the Patriots still signed him. It can be noted and in fact validated that Antonio Brown is in fact a wild man. But his story lends much more than just a timeline of speculative and disappointing behavior. Because if you really examine his drama really close, you'll discover and relate to the fact that no matter how many things you've done wrong in your life, no matter how many times you failed at something, no matter how many times you've made the wrong decisions or the wrong choices, you will always still have something that someone else needs. This is the message, my dear friends, that God is trying to convey to us this morning in our text. In Acts chapter 1, the narrative is charted of how the disciples went about replacing Judas after Judas's disloyalty and his betrayal of Jesus Christ. It's very engaging this morning, my dear friends, because after Judas betrays Jesus, numerically, the disciples are incomplete. They are used to operating and functioning with 12 bodies. They are used to operating and functioning with 12 men. But now after Judas betrays Jesus, all they have is just 11. And so now they have the responsibility, hear this, of replacing the link that is missing and ultimately keeping them from operating at full capacity. What becomes very intriguing here this morning, watch this, is the mindset of the disciples. Because they have the mindset that just because Judas is not amongst us anymore does not mean that we will allow his absence to prohibit us from moving forward. And the reality is that some of us need to align our lives with this same mindset. That just because you are not in my life anymore, just because you walked away from me, just because we are not as close as we used to be, does not mean that your absence is going to stop me from being who I need to be. The reality is, when you left me, it hurt. When you walked away from me, it hurt. When I found out that you really were who you tried to lie to me and say that you weren't, it really hurt. But the reality is, maybe God removed you so that he could really show me who I need in my life. See, the reality of our lives is we let too many people stop us from being who we are called to be. All because they walk out of our lives like them. God, I wish I had a church. You have no idea of the amount of people who are watching to see how successful you're going to be in their absence. But you got to be able to look the enemy in the face and tell them, I don't need you anyway. I'm still going to be walking into what God has for me to be, because greater is he that's on the inside of me than he that is in the world. And they say we got to replace Judas. Watch this. We got to replace Judas, but we just can't replace him with anybody. Watch this. The person we replace Judas with has to be able to match a certain criteria. Watch this. If they don't match this criteria, they cannot be a part of our fellowship. And I came to tell just 5 people this morning, watch this, to stop allowing people in your life that don't match the standards that you set for yourself. Y'all ain't come to have church this morning. Stop dumbing yourself down for people who are not capable of mounting up to the standards and the specifications that you require for their life. Yes, they may look good. Yes, they may smell good. Yes, they may have a good career. Yes, they may say everything that you want them to say. But the reality is, if they don't match your standards, you gotta be able to walk away and leave them alone. The reality is, I don't care how much they can sweet talk you, but if they don't match the criteria you set for your life, you got to be able to say bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. Because I can't have nobody in my life that's pulling me down while I'm trying to get forward in life. I believe, my dear friends, that's why there's a crazed epidemic in our land in this day. Because we have so many people dumbing down their expectations just because they don't want to be alone. You got so many people dumbing down their own expectations just because they want to feel love. You got so many people dumbing down their expectations, their criteria, all because they want somebody to hold them at night. You got so many people dumbing down their expectations, all because they want the dream job, all because they want to fit in with the who's who and who has resources and who has connections. But the reality is, you should let nothing take you away from the desire and the criteria and the standard that you set for your life. Stop losing who you are for other people who don't want to find you. Old folks used to say, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And I'm tired of seeing the saints of God fall for everything because we've lowered our standards. I'm tired of seeing the saints of God struggle in their personal life because we have lowered our standard. In fact, I'm tired of seeing the church. I'm tired of seeing the church continually criticized and ostracized on social media because we have lost our standard and we begin to let everything in the church and everybody in the church and everybody hold a position. God says you better keep your standard. You gotta keep your standard. You can't fall for anything. You can't let people trap you in anything. You can't let people say anything to you to disregard what you've been taught. Paul asked the church at Galatia, he says, who has bewitched you and turned you away from the word of God? You got to be able to stand flat-footed and say, if this doesn't match with the word of God, this ain't good for my life. He said, we just just can't replace Judas with anybody. We got a standard. Watch this. We can't replace Judas with anybody because one of the qualifying factors in replacing Judas, watch this, is understanding, watch this, which person is the right man for the job. Watch this. And one of the things in understanding which person was the right man for the job, watch this, is that they had to be a witness of Jesus Christ. Right? So you got to get this. I got to paint this picture for you. Watch this. There are 11 disciples at this point. There are 11 disciples. They are trying to get one man to replace where Judas used to sit. And so in order for them to replace where Judas used to sit, they have to come up with a criteria of who can take his place. The first thing that they say is that the person who replaces Judas has to be a man who is a witness of Jesus Christ. Now, that person would have had to have been someone who saw Jesus turn water into wine. That witness would have had to have been somebody who saw Jesus feed the 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. That witness would have had to have been someone who saw Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead. And the reality is, some of us say the reason I qualify is not because I saw Jesus feed the 5,000, not because I saw him turn water into wine, not because I saw Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead, but the reason I qualify is because I'm a witness to what Jesus has done in my own life. No, I did not see Lazarus, but I saw him heal my nephew. No, I did not see him turn water into wine, but I saw him heal my mama. No, I did not see him feed the 5,000, but I saw him heal my sister. You want to know why I come to church every week and I don't sit in the burgundy seat like God ain't never done nothing for me? It's because I've seen too much. I've observed too much. And because of the stuff I've seen, I dare sit down like God ain't never done nothing for me. But when I think about it, when I speak about it, not just what he's done for me, but everything he did for J.R., and everything he did for Sister Michelle, everything he did for Poonie, everything he did for Pauline, I can't help but to give his name glory, honor, and praise. Come on, I need somebody in here, Bibleway, to grab hold on to the altar and say, no, I didn't see what happened in the Bible, but I've seen what it did in my life. I didn't hear what it did in the Bible, but I've seen what it did in my life. Last week I couldn't walk on my leg, but look at me now. I'm jumping, leaping in the house of God. Do you know that he's a healer? Do you know that he's a mind regulator? You ought to praise him like you a witness for Jesus. I don't mean to holler this morning, but I gotta let it out that God has been better to me than I've been to my own self. He's been better to me than I've been to my own self. I'm a witness of who he is. If God ever healed you of something, praise his name. If God ever healed your family of something, praise his name. If he ever brought you out of an accident, praise his name. If he ever brought you out of my situation, praise his name. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm a witness. Tell them, I'm a witness that God can do anything but fail. Every time I turn around, he's so making a way out of nowhere. You see that?
do this with anybody. Gotta have standards. Gotta be a witness. So Peter enters the room. Verse 23 this morning. And Peter stands before the crowd, Tommy. And he says, let us choose someone who is capable of carrying out this assignment with us. Watch this. The text says they nominated 2 men. Then they prayed. I knew y'all was going to miss it. I knew you were going to miss it. And you really want to know why a lot of us miss what just happened in the text? It's because a lot of us act just like the disciples. Watch what they do. They want something from God. They nominate first. Then they pray. Why is it that when we want something from God, we act first, then we pray? Y'all laughing because you know that's what you do. We act first, and then we want God to bless what we've done. I thought this was Bibleway Church, Bishop. I did. I thought this was Bibleway Church because Bibleway Church will understand that the Word of God says, seek ye first. It never says, seek me after you did what you wanted to do. It didn't say, seek me after you put in the job application. It didn't say, seek me after you tried to apply for the house. It said, seek me first. Seek me first. Now it's amazing because the disciples are trying to choose somebody to carry out Jesus' work. And they never asked Jesus. How are you going to be trying to do an assignment for God and don't consult Him? The reality is, let me let you in on something. I know in the church, and I have a proclivity to say this also, that we have natural lives and we have spiritual lives, which is true. The reality is our natural and our spiritual lives work congruently together, which would insert that your whole life is an assignment for God. That's right. Your whole life. Not just when you come to church. That's right. Not just when you're doing something for the kingdom. But tomorrow on your job, your life is supposed to line up with God. Now, why is it that if our life works congruently together, why is it that we always act first and don't seek God? Is that the reason why a lot of people are in the situations we're in today? Oh my God. Come on. Is that the reason why a lot of people are struggling? Why a lot of people are confused? A lot of things without telling them first that you got to seek God. I cannot seek God for the will of my life and think that I can ask Him about a second. He wants to show you where to go. It may take a long time. May not appear when you want it to appear, but He wants to reveal what He wants you to do, where He wants you to be. You just got to stop making your own moves first and wanting God to cover you. Now, He will cover you because I'm a living witness that God will cover you even in your mess. But as people of God, and this is a teacher moment. This is a teacher moment. For those of you who have never been to my Bible study, you need to come because this is how we act. That was a shameless plug for you to show up next week. Shameless plug for you to show up next week. But this is what God desires out of our life. To make sure that in everything that you seek Him first. That's helping somebody right there. It's simple. Make sure that you seek God first. Yeah. Not your friends. Not your homegirls. Not your dogs. Make sure you seek God first. Watch this. They nominate two men. A man by the name of Justice. Then another man by the name of Matthias. And then they say, God, you choose which one is going to carry out the assignment with us. What's amazing is that this brought a revelation to me that helped me to understand, watch this, that's the reason some people become so uneasy with you, or the reason you feel like you have so many haters and people don't really like you, or whatever the case may be, is mainly because they don't understand that nomination does not mean election. Old preacher said, I'm preaching harder than y'all saying amen. They don't understand that nomination does not mean election. Donald Trump is running for the 2020 presidency. Just because you are nominated does not mean you will be elected. My dog Bernie Sanders is running for the 2020 presidency. Just because you are nominated does not mean that you are elected. Now, let me tell you why Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump think that they're going to win. Because they got resources. They think they're going to win because they got money. I can buy an election. And the reason people don't like you is because even though both of y'all were nominated, you were the one that was chosen. Let's be honest. You don't have the resources they have. You don't have the connections they have. You don't know the people that they know. But no matter how many people they know, no matter how many connections they have, it does not matter because God still chose you. The undeniable reality is that they're not really that mad at you. I know you, the poster child. I know your face is the one they see when they go to sleep. And they say, God, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. But in actuality, they mad at God. Because let's be honest, you didn't choose this for yourself. If some of us are honest about our assignment, some of us will say, God, you can take this back. Because I really don't want to do what you've given me to do. And the reason that people are mad is because you can do what they can't do effortlessly. God has chosen you even when you don't have what other people have. Look at your neighbor and tell them, I'm unique. I'm unique. Look back at your neighbor and tell them, I'm the exception. You want to know why I am the exception? Because I don't need what other people need to get where I need to be. I ain't got to sleep with nobody to get the promotion. I ain't got to advertise myself to be where I got to go. But God just plants it on my hair. Even when other people are more qualified.
sing, Lord, I know you really, really love me. The more I get to know ya,